Oh,
Didn't do it either.
can they can they hear me right now? Because if so, then I. All right. Well, Tom's having mic input issues right now, so stand by for those who are wondering what the silence is about.
Yep, I've got it now. Thank you for covering for me, Noah.
All
So,
right.
it is November 29th of 2023. This is Trackside with Tom. Thank you everyone for joining us today. And my co-host today is the erstwhile Noah Bolte. Say hello everyone, Noah.
Hello. I actually made my introduction before you did this time. Haha.
I know, right? Oh, the technical difficulties that we face, but you know what? It works.
Yep.
So, we actually had a pretty stellar viewership weekend on Steel Highway because of the Steam Railroading Institute camera and the Polar Express trips that they're doing up there in Owasso. And we got about 6 cameras worth of CPKC holiday train roll-bys. So, thank you everyone for tuning in and checking out these different events over the weekend on Steel Highway. And we are going to actually start right out. Excuse me, we're going to start right out with some roll-bys of the CPKC holiday train. We're starting out here in Savannah, and this is after they completed their show in Savannah, and they are proceeding now across the Diamonds, heading westbound toward Iowa. And, this is one of the very few places where you can still see a diamond of 2 main lines crossing 2 other main lines. This and Rochelle are just about the only places that you can. Well, no, that's not true because we have another one in Griffith where it's the same thing. What am I thinking? But it's still kind of unique. A lot of the diamonds you see, it's just one train, one line crossing one other line. And here we see another roll by. They're just coming out of the show in Clinton along the riverfront and now heading down toward the 5th Street interlocking where they will.
Tom. Oh,
Yeah?
sorry. I was gonna say, with that Savannah Diamond comment, I thought the direction you were gonna go with was it's one of the last times you can see double searchlights on for both main lines because where else can you see that right now?
Well, and
I
that
mean,
is
think about
100% accurate. Those
like
are,
think about that.
yeah. Those are, BN and Milwaukee searchlights
Yep.
that are there. So, yes, absolutely. But in terms of having a double diamond, yes, it's kind of rare on its own, but having those double searchlights, that is actually a pretty neat thing to be able to see also.
It really is.
So, the boxcar that you just saw go by there, I believe that one is the stage that actually folds out. And then these coaches on the rear is where the entertainers, the performers, actually hang out as they are traveling. And now, this is going to be the last roll by that we do, but I wanted to highlight this one because the holiday train actually pulls right down in front of the camera and stops to do their performance in Muscatine. This is downtown Muscatine riverfront, and you get to see the holiday train in its full regalia, as it is in fact completely dark out. And I've had an idea, and I wanted to actually run it by the group today and see what was the thoughts on this. And we're going to open up a poll because one of the things that I've been thinking about is I think that Muscatine would be an excellent candidate for an upgrade to PTZ next year. And I'm curious, what are the thoughts of everyone would you like to see the Muscatine webcam upgraded to PTZ in 2024? So we're going to start a poll and see what people have to say. And the poll is active now, so go ahead and check that out. And while we got the poll going and we're enjoying the holiday train, I'm just going to say hi. We got 29 people online here. And hello, Stephen Kern. Hello, Jim M. Hello, Turf. Alan Hunt, always good to see you. Daniel Swanson, Barry Anderson. And we have Nina ATCS, up there, our host, up in Nina, Wisconsin. Following up, Tom LaFren, Billy Drury, hello, good to see you. Trains of Minnesota, Turf, and Minecrafter Tracy. Good to see you guys. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in today. And this is the CPKC Holiday Train. This is the last roll-by we're going to do for it, but it is currently departing Muscatine at the end of the program. You can see how the parking lot is pretty well emptied out now. And the train didn't end up deadheading all the way down to Ottumwa on that same night. Is that what we're assuming happened?
I think they did. I know there was a lot of talk about that in a group chat I'm in, but I kind of, spaced out once it was no longer relevant to me. So
right.
I think they might have. I think they might have gone all the way, but I could be totally wrong.
So I can remember seeing on ATCS that they were lined up all the way to Letts when they left Muscatine. Oh, yeah. So that's my assumption, but I never actually checked it out. So anyway, we're going to switch gears here now. And
do you think you could turn on the screen share, by the way?
Oh, of course. Of course.
Thank you.
Always happy to help. Screen share. So, Facebook.
Al Hunt says, yeah, they did go all the way to Ottumwa that night, so.
Yeah, and that's
there we go.
That's what I would have guessed, is that because they had a show at 10 a.m. the next morning, I think.
Yeah.
In Ottumwa.
And I saw enough pictures in and around Washington that kind of, where else would they go?
Right. Go down and stop at Rubio for the night. Yes.
Yeah.
So, anyway, yes, screen share should be active now.
Thank you.
And we are going to switch over now. Buddy Burton gave me a timestamp for Clarence, and so we are going to be able to watch apparently a meet on the Clarence camera. And this is from, I believe, 8:03 this morning. Yes, 8:03:20. So we're going to check that out next. And Clarence, Iowa, the Sunstop webcam. If anyone is out rail fanning in the Clarence area, make sure and buy your provisions at Sunstop and tell them thank you for hosting this webcam location. So, all right. It looks like we've just about got it coming into view here. Some beautiful early morning sunlight. It's this, what would you call it? Like the winter effect, where you have the sun kind of down in the southeast quadrant, and
yeah, I'd say something like that. Like you kind of got that's a decent way to put it. I think I've heard other terms for it, but of course, now that we're talking about it, none of that's going to come to my mind right away, right? So.
Right.
But I do enjoy winter light quite a bit.
Yes, one nice. Little of it that we actually get.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. For the hour or so, or even less than that it exists, yes, I enjoy it.
Oh, Noah, the UP is out trying to prove you wrong this morning. They're running westbound on the C&W style on the left-hand main.
Oh, well. there must be maintenance around.
I guess.
Or a tied down train. Sometimes that'll do it too. Although typically they don't try to tie things down in the wrong running main, so who knows?
Right. My guess is that this guy is actually passing someone else.
That's totally possible too.
I'll bet all right, so they got another one going by on the wrong lane as well.
Oh wow.
So,
What the heck?
looks like a loaded grain
hey,
train going east, going away from the camera.
complaining. I'm just getting, I'm just getting the vibe from 5 years ago or so. I'm happy with this.
Yes.
I don't know why they're doing that. That's really weird.
I mean, I just kind of think that they kind of do whatever they want to do. But what I will tell you is that if you watch the downtown Ogilvy cameras, they run left-hand main religiously on all three lines. You will see them going outbound on the left side and coming inbound on the right side on each. Yeah, as soon as
on which camera?
On the Chicago cameras.
Oh, sure.
The elevated tracks that leads to Ogilvy Transportation Center. That those dispatchers run. They do their left hand running religiously.
Interesting.
I don't know that I've ever now once they get down to the throat of the yard leads and they start crossing over to whichever platform track they're going to land on, then that's a little bit different. But when you see them coming around that curve underneath the signal bridge, they are 100% on the left-hand main, coming in every single time off of whichever direction that they're coming from.
I wonder what the reason for that is.
And I'm guessing because that's just the way they've always operated. That's the way the CNW operated them. So that's what they do too.
Well, that hasn't stopped UP in the past few years, though.
Yeah, but this is Metra, right?
Yeah.
So
and UP and Metro love each other.
Yes,
that's a joke. That's a joke.
Well, that's an article. That's like a whole news story for another day. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
This is a fairly extensive container train that we're seeing going by here. I'm very curious to see if we're going to get some piggybacks on the rear of this train.
I'm seeing a lot of maritime containers, so I'm not holding my breath. I'm not saying it's not possible, but I'm not holding my breath.
Oh no, we're to the rear of the train now. There is definitely this is all just 40s and 20s.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually an empty 5-pack coming up here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So we got some people throwing some timestamps into the chat also. So we'll definitely get to some of those. So yeah, well, this is what we've got for the roll by on the Clarence camera.
Good catch.
M337 has the GTW Heritage unit leading if you want to jump over to Griffith. Do we have a timestamp for that?
I can get one real quick, or try to.
Yeah, thank you for pointing that out, Tracy. I'm going to work on switching cameras here. And while Mr. Noah is looking up the webcam timestamp, I will be switching over to the Griffith stream. So, what else have we got here? Hello, Vern Rosenthal. Hello, UP 1995 Railfan. Hello, Brent. Appreciate all the contributions. Hello, Tim Leister.
Oh my goodness. I have a timestamp for your Griffith already, and it is not the GT.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Well, look, Griffith never has any shortage of interesting power floating by, so...
That's true, but this isn't, well, I can't say it's not conventional because these go through Griffith all the time, but there's a very limited number of them that actually can lead trains so far, and that should already give you a big hint as to what this is going to be.
Yeah.
Go to 853.
853. Well, we've got a train going around the connection there. I think. Oh, we'll back up just a little bit, and we're going to switch over. All right, here we go. 8:53, 8:52 and 55 seconds, I guess.
That works.
And yes, we have a CITX or former CITX leader, a pair of them actually. That's fascinating.
Mm-hmm. I know. I was very surprised to see that.
We've got some loads of lumber. It looks like some aluminum ingots maybe on the head end of this.
It could have been.
Yeah.
Also, if we want to keep moving, I have another. I mean, this is going to be a little bit more predictable. Yeah, cool local power. But guess what? There's more than just IC70s on this. There's a little bit of a colorful mix. So whenever you get the chance, I've got another one lined up here.
Yeah. Let me see what we've got. We've got, all right. So we'll get caught up on our comments here quick while we're doing this roll by. Yes, Kansas Train Videos. Hello, Tyler. News on the Flossmoor camera. Yes, we are trying to, I'm working with the host to get their internet upgraded. I don't know an exact time frame, but the equipment is all installed. And we're just waiting on the host to complete the internet upgrade, and then we will have a camera setup active in Flossmoor. I know that I've talked to the owner a couple of times, very excited about having the cameras active. It's just, they're working with, it's not MediaCom. In their instance, it is, let me think, they have CenturyLink now. They're not working with MediaCom. They're working with Comcast. That's what it is, to get an internet upgrade done. And once that's finished, then we'll have all kinds of bandwidth that we'll be able to have cameras running at Flossmoor. So just a matter of time before we get that done. Let's see here. Original reason CNW was left-handed was based on the stations in the Chicago area all being on the same side of the tracks. Interesting. All right. Garen Henderson, hello. Yes, Neenah ATCS. Those two city rails were southbound through Neenah. First time I've seen them on the main, as now a few have PTC. So do we know how many of them have PTC outfitted as that they can be leaders?
Who knows? They're just slowly being added at this point. I would guess like maybe higher single digits. I have no idea. Could be low double digits for all we know.
Right.
It's not that many yet. It's not that many.
And it's also interesting to me that they're not repainting them. I mean, it's, they're just installing the PTC hardware and putting them right back out.
Hey, as all the various, depending upon what side of the argument you're on for how people like or dislike the CSX heritage units, from what I've seen those comments, the leading defense is paint doesn't pay for the railroad or whatever the phrase is. So the same applies here. They don't care. I mean, if they run, they're going to run them.
Right. So,
but yeah, I'd assume we're going to get some paint on them at some point.
Yeah, I assume so also, because honestly, it's still, CN is still a corporation, and they still have corporate branding. And that's always a consideration. And, that's why I believe that ultimately you are going to see everything repainted eventually. But
someday. Although they've kept Grand Trunk engines around for, a couple decades now. And Blue Devils, the blue Dash 8s and the IC or IC stencil, those lasted for a really long time too. So I'm not complaining if they last a while like this. Not
right. And, you think about it. So, for instance, they brought, look at this. They got a third one as a mid-DPU.
Oh, wow. Nice. I did not even see that one earlier.
Well, look at that. It's a good thing we actually did this roll by.
It is.
So, it really is the difference between what we'll call, say, the CN family of railroads, right? Because the GTWs, the ICs, the Missabes, the Bessies, the ones that are not getting repainted are the ones they actually own. Whereas when they got the CNW-8s, those were repainted to CN, re-stenciled everything, and put out into revenue service.
That's true. Although I will say, when those BNSF-8s and, or I guess let's say Santa Fe and CNW-8s respectively. When those came to the CN property, a lot of them actually got, hastily applied noodles on either the nose or the side. I haven't seen that on any of these yet. So that is one thing I will note.
Yeah. All right. What's our other timestamp here at Griffith?
Let's go to 950 real quick here.
950. All right. Oh, 10:05. Apparently, I went
Also, maybe I'm just blind, but I have not found this this GT Heritage Unit on Griffith just yet.
All right, 9:50:12. Tracy, if you have a timestamp, that would be very, very helpful.
Yeah, I'm struggling at the moment.
So we've got the IC 1014, GTW 5933, the IC 9544, the J Ball, IC 9603, IC 9610, GT 49. Wow, that's quite the consist you found there. Nice work.
Yeah.
And, empty flat cars on the head end, because why not? There's absolutely no webcam footage of empty flat cars getting folded up in the middle of these massive trains anywhere. Why would the CN possibly think that that's a concern?
It wouldn't. See,
Oh.
my thought is that, it's just like a yard transfer. They're not
It
going to go up
probably
any
is.
too
It's
crazy
just
grades.
this is just a Kirkyard to Homewood transfer. You saw a wheel car in there. That's going to the shop at Homewood.
I would agree with that.
However, it still bears to point out that they have to navigate the connection at Madison in order to get.
I did think of that when we were just talking just now. That was the one thing that was like, well, there's this one, but they've done it before. They'll be fine.
Yeah, this one isn't very long either. This is we're seeing auto racks here, and I'm pretty sure the rear of the train is coming up. So.
Also, I've got another timestamp. If we go back just 15 minutes to 9:35, another decent train goes through.
Well, there was something that I saw here at 10:05 that I wanted to look at briefly, and maybe I was imagining things, but I wanted to just check this out real briefly. Almost 10:06.
Oh, yeah. I know
this guy is going around the connection from the South Bend sub onto the Madison sub.
Mm-hmm. It's a potash train, and
it's got that CN 100 unit on the lead.
Well, there's two engines of note here, actually. That last one, that third one, looks like just your, run-of-the-mill M-2, but it's actually one of the few EMDX demonstrator engines that CN bought from EMD, yeah.
Interesting.
So that's kind of neat.
But yes, this is very much, it is just a standard empty potash train heading back to Alberta or Saskatchewan, wherever it is that those get loaded again. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Probably coming off the interchange at from one of the either CSX or NS, one of the eastern railroads there at Kirkyard. He's saying that he can't find 337, but it was by Mount Carmel at 10:17. So.
So does that mean it was a nighttime thing, or because if that's the
it
case,
could have gone by before daylight. Yep.
Yeah. Well, here's the problem. Even if it did, it probably did go by Griffith during daylight, because typically they do. But the problem is, we lost a good 3 hours of footage between about 5 in the morning and 8 something. It just totally blacked out. So yeah, we don't have that footage of it going by, unfortunately.
Got it. All right. So let's, while we're rolling the empty potash train by, we'll look at some more comments. We have got Evan logging in here. Hello. How are you doing today? Must be ignoring his work this afternoon. HO Scale up in Wapaka. Hello, Brett. Turf, solo BNSF leader on Manifest through Fort Mad. Interesting. A one-unit wonder, as the CP used to call him. 9 numbers have PTC that he knows. This is Henry up in Nina. Both 3900s and some 2700s. Kenneth Dugan, how about a camera in Indianapolis? You know, I am not in any way familiar with the railroad scene in Indianapolis. If you want to write me an email and detail out some locations that you think could work, that would be great. But I actually have no idea. I know that the CSX goes through. I know that the NS goes through. But other than that, I have absolutely no idea what actually, like where even would be a starting point for a good camera in Indianapolis.
I don't think NS goes through Indianapolis, Tom. I hate to tell you.
Oh, it doesn't? What am
No.
For some reason, I was thinking that that was on the. Oh no, that's too far south. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's way too far south.
Although, if I had to guess where, forgive me, I forgot who suggested this. If I had to guess, he's probably talking about somewhere in the downtown region, because there's, from what I've seen on maps, there's a decent amount of businesses kind of like lining this kind of bottleneck area, so to speak. So it would be an interesting place.
And I guess the one thing that I do know that I can speak to a little bit is that they still have the state-sponsored Amtrak service in Indiana. And does that run through Indianapolis?
I'm not the biggest Amtrak person in the world, so I don't know if I can answer that. But I think they get some Amtrak, but I, again, don't know.
I'm pretty confident. I'm looking it up on Google Maps right now, but I am.
Do they get the Cardinal in Indianapolis?
That's what I was gonna guess. Yeah, and I'm looking at this. Yep, the Amtrak Cardinal does make a station stop at Indianapolis, and it runs actually east and west through downtown Indianapolis. Yep.
Ah, okay, there we go.
So, yep, that is the case. So, anyway, I appreciate the suggestion. You know, absolutely, write me an email and let me know where you think that a good location could be. And we'll check it out. I mean, anything's possible. Let's see here. Oh, and there's the rear of our train. We got a rear DPU. And now they are clearing the camera, clearing the interlocking. Any other timestamps here at Nina? Or, excuse me, here at Griffith while we're here?
We could go to 9:35 real quick.
Yes, that's right. You had told me that originally, and I was like, oh, let's check this other one out. And then,
Well, this is a good one to check out because I totally neglected it. And then I saw that, oh, yeah, there's the 100, and there's also one of CN's like 4 aces. So kind of neat.
I went back too far. 9:35. There's 9:33. I don't really want to talk for 2 minutes, so we're going to... There, 9:34 and 39 seconds. I can chat for a moment, fill some time. The gates are already down. This thing is going to be on top of us pretty quick.
Yep.
Yeah, so, all right. Indianapolis, they have the Cardinal. Because I knew that CSX is in charge of or took over the L&N, and that goes through Indianapolis. And, what do we have here? We have a UP leader. Fascinating.
Yeah, one of those rebuild AC60s. I thought that was kind of neat.
And then a BNSF GE following on an eastbound container train.
One of the mixed intermodal auto-rack trains, yeah.
Yeah, we got 53s up here on the head end, 53 footers, and then we've got some auto racks coming up.
And that's about all I wanted to show here. I haven't found anything else that's too notable.
All right. Well, that's fine. So, let's see here. We can get caught up on our comments. 4 SD70 Aces got painted very quickly. Yeah.
That's true.
New from National Steel Canada, never yet used. Interesting. All right. And let's see here. 3 City Rail. Yep, 3 City Rail locomotives purchased by CN. Mac Doyle, hello. Can't find it. All right, yes, Mount Carmel, yes. Looking forward to a cam up in Port Huron. Yes, I'm not Port Huron, but Imlay City. That's the one where I'm trying to work with the group that runs the depot in Imlay City, Michigan, to try to get a camera put in there. And then we'll see all these trains that, well, some of the trains that go through Griffith. We'll see them a couple hundred miles further east. Canpotex, yes, coming from Quebec. They run loads over Lake Superior. All right. CSX only. Yeah, so when I made my comment about Indianapolis, I was way too far south. I was thinking of the former Wabash line that the NS runs from Kansas City to Detroit, and it goes through downstate Illinois, it goes through Indiana, and then up into Michigan, obviously. But that goes quite a bit further north. That's not in Indianapolis. I think that actually goes through South Bend.
Not even that. South Bend is just the NS Chicago line. The Wabash goes like from Danville, Lafayette, Logansport, Fort Wayne, etc.
Yeah, but the point being quite a bit further north than Indianapolis, and so that was my confusion. So thank you for the clarification. Louisville in Indiana, maybe the I&O. A Cardinal in Indianapolis 3 times a week. Yep, that's the state-sponsored, or part of the state-sponsored service. Columbus 2018. Well, we're not going to be able to reach back that far. We can only go back 12 hours. So we can only go back to midnight. Amtrak's Beach Row shops are near Indianapolis. Yep, that's what I was thinking also. Would be a nice surprise. You see, so the trick would be to have the camera north of Beech Grove so you saw everything that was coming in and out, because what Amtrak does is they take a lot of equipment into Chicago, right? And then they switch it out onto the Cardinal to get set out at Beech Grove as they're going east. And so that would be the trick. If you want to see the really cool stuff that goes in and out of Beech Grove, you would have to have the camera between Beech Grove and Chicago somewhere. And the outskirts of Indianapolis could possibly do that trick. How about a cam on the Wabash Valley Railroad Museum at Haley Tower in Terre Haute, Indiana? I am not familiar with that, but I would be happy to do some research on it and figure out what's going on. Do not know anyone who put a cam downtown area. Yeah, I appreciate that. Cam at Columbus went down this morning, so the timestamp is still available. Oh, okay. Yeah, you know what? I've been having some issues with, I'll be the first to admit, OBS Studio put out a update, and I installed it on 4 webcam servers, and I had to roll it back on every single server the update is version 30.0, and I had to roll it all back to 29.1.3 because the version 30 kept crashing. And I forget exactly which cameras or which servers it was on, but Columbus was one of them, and I fixed that this morning. So, where shall we go next, Noah? Do you have any ideas for our next destination here on Trackside?
I have a ton of ideas, but limited results here. We can go to Manly if you'd like.
Oh, absolutely.
I think it's been a while since you've been there. Let's I know we try to avoid doing night things typically, but I think this might be worth looking at. We're gonna look at 1:16:30-ish.
Okay. Well, we got a little more clarification here. So the Cardinal is not state sponsored. The Hoosier State was state sponsored, and it ran on the off days for the Cardinal. Mm-hmm. But apparently, I do remember some of this now. All right.
Interesting.
So,
see, I didn't think the Cardinal was state sponsored because of, it spans multiple states. It goes, pretty decent distance.
Yeah.
Doesn't it end in is it Washington? Am I right?
I would have to look and see. I can do some quick Googling here and figure it out. What do we got for a timestamp at Manly?
Oh, that was 1:16.
1:16 in the morning. Well, we will reach back and we can see some headlights over there. Somebody's probably stopped and switching on the south end of the yard. All right, and now they are pulling down toward the crossing. So what have we got at Manly? Well, I see the guys there standing at the switch, so I'm guessing this is an Iowa Northern train that's going to get on, get off of the UP Albert Lee sub.
That is a fantastic guess. Also, I did a quick search, and it's actually New York to Philadelphia to Washington, or I guess to Baltimore to Washington, and then onward. So it kind of takes a little bit of a upside down bow shape through the eastern U.S.
Yeah. All right. Oh yeah, I see. We got flashing headlights here, or flashing ditch lights, I should say.
Mm-hmm. And see, what makes this a notable train in my eyes is there is a severe lack of slugs, F40s, GP40s, etc. It is all just pure Iowa Northern GP38-2s on this train.
Interesting.
So I thought that was kind of neat.
Yeah. And what have we got here? 4, 5 of them? 4 of them, it looks like?
I think it was 4, yeah.
Yeah. 4 standard cab EMD Jeeps. Hard to beat.
It really is.
So this guy is departing the Manly yard. And, oh, wait a second. I forgot to well, we got to back up a little bit here now.
Uh-oh.
Forgot to turn that off. Here we go. Now we've got it. All right. And we're pulling down and we're going to roll by the Iowa Northern Jeeps. Now we've got it. Yes, thanks, guys. Apologize for the confusion there. And here comes our quartet of Iowa Northern GP38-2s. Departing the Manly yard and heading toward Butler. And who knows, if you look, I mean, this same road power may have gone by Cedar Falls as well, or might this afternoon potentially. So,
it's totally possible.
Yeah, get to see it in a little bit better light, possibly. All right, so as we're rolling this guy by, because, yeah, can you tell they're going over a 10 mph switch here? They're just crawling along coming out of the yard.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I've actually got another timestamp at Manly if we don't feel like watching a crawling Iowa Northern train.
That's fine. What do you have?
Let's go to 6:52.
6:52, right before sunrise.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's bright enough.
It's bright?
It's bright enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's 6:40. Almost got it. And we have a northbound UP train departing Mason City, heading for South St. Paul. And so this is a block of intermodal on the head end, so I've heard different stories about these. Some of this intermodal has been set out for Iowa Northern different times.
Oh, this is definitely never. None of these 53 containers ever go to the Northern. It's all international
40s.
stuff they get. Mm-hmm.
Got it. So those are
are all
going up
going to
to
St.
the
Paul.
container terminal in South St. Paul then.
Yep. Or Minneapolis, I guess, if we want to be realistic about it.
So, Iowa Northern Jeeps have a heritage mostly from the L&N, B&O, Penn Central. Yep.
I think all of, if not most of, if not all of the ones we just saw on that train were ex-L&N because of their nose headlights. And look, we were just talking about the L&N in Indianapolis, so we're staying on topic today.
Absolutely. And those bulkhead flats that just went by, those are those look like frames.
I didn't get a good look at them, but I'm taking your word for it.
I'm rolling it
Oh,
back
we're rolling
right
it
now.
back. All right, all right.
No, that's pipe. That's pipe.
Yeah.
You can see the caps
Yeah,
on the ends.
I do see the caps.
Yep. So they're still considered shiftable loads. They have to have the bulkhead ends on the flats, but those are definitely loads of pipe.
Mm-hmm. Come to think of it, I think most freight cars that I've seen carrying any form of frame, be it car or what have you, most of the time I think those typically aren't even bulkheads. Like, I don't know, most frame things I've seen are usually just like, well, I say freestanding with, air quotes, but you get what I mean. There's not a giant bulkhead on either end.
Yeah.
Typically.
So these GONs, these could also be loads of pipe as well, with the wood slats sticking up. I've seen loads of pipe. Yeah, like here's another one that's actually loaded above the top of the level of the GON. But I think those are loads of pipe as well. I've definitely seen them loaded that way before anyway.
I'd say that's a pretty decent guess.
Yeah. So, all right. What have we got here? 740, 342, 58 Wisconsin Central hoppers that used to be in roofing granule service from 3M in Wausau. Probably going somewhere. All right, so I'm guessing that's a timestamp for Nina. But yes, thank you for that. We could jump over to Nina next. Ron, good to see you. Ron is down in Springfield, so, or no, that's not Ron Bradshaw. That's, or maybe it is. I don't know. Is that Ron Bradshaw? You're gonna have to let me know. I don't know everyone's handle right off the top of my head. At Nina, yes. All right. Thank you, Henry. And then 925 inspection train through Wapaka. That'd be interesting to check out.
I actually have that timestamp right here, as well as let's see. Do I have one other? Yeah, I had one other. So yeah, I'd say Wapaka is a pretty decent bet to go to. Also, well, we could do Nina as well. We haven't done either one for quite some time.
All right. Well, we'll switch over to Wapaka first and then Nina.
All right.
And Wapaka. So while we're switching gears here, I did see some photos of the CN holiday train as well, but I don't know if that's making an appearance in the States this year or not.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Let's see here. 743. Let's make sure that we actually. There we go. Now we're in Wapaka. And 7:43 in the morning. And we have some beautiful sunrise again here. Just another 10 minutes is all we have to go. And of course I went too far because it's really, really tough. 7:43, here we go. Oh, wait, that was, all right, so this is the timestamp for the, the WC hoppers. And then we'll jump ahead to 925 for the inspection train.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh, hello, Patrick. How are you doing today?
Hey, Patrick.
I'm good. I'm in Iowa City right now.
Yeah? Oh, wait a second. That's Sam.
Yeah. Oh, you got me.
All right, fine. I wasn't expecting you. You didn't say anything.
No,
Patrick jumped in the chat yesterday.
I was doing some stuff, and then I'm like, oh, I can join. I should join here. I'm done with my stuff, and yeah, I joined, and I found a really cool lash up. Like, once you're done with your stuff, I'll tell you. But yeah.
All right. Well,
cool
that's
lash
fine.
up on the UP.
Well, I'm not finding anything unless 743 was Nina. Maybe I'm getting
No,
my time.
that was Nina, Tom. For Wapaka, we're looking at 925.
All right, I apologize.
You're all right.
I'm getting my times confused here, or my locations. Here we go. All right, here comes the inspection train, 925 by Wapaka. And this is the CN inspection train or CN geometry train, however you want to describe it, being led by a single wide cab SD40. Is that what that is?
No, that's a 75i.
Okay, yep.
That's kind of unusual power, but okay.
I know.
A little bit.
It's not your typical Jeep 40 with the camera rigged up on the nose and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's strange. I'd imagine it's gonna make a run through here, and that's like they're going, straight south on the IC. But
right.
I would imagine they're gonna run through here.
That'd be cool.
All right. So we got the inspection train, and what else? What else did we have for timestamps?
I had about just like a second before 1025.
Also in Wapaka?
Yeah, so maybe aim for like 10:24:30.
10:24:35. Does that work?
That works just fine.
Yeah.
You will not hear any complaints from me.
All right. Well, we seem to have landed on that. And yeah, we're going to see, this is going to be a northbound train.
Yes.
CN 5601 was apparently the leader on the Geo train, and so they the Geo train to go to I'm gonna butcher this, Manitowoc.
I think it's Manitowoc.
Manitowoc. Yeah.
Also, so what was noteworthy about this stack train is the fact that it had that, I don't know, I think it's like I forgot what that front car is used for, but in all other instances where I've seen it, it's actually been, painted up in CN colors and whatnot, but that was just a pure red box car. Nothing, no indication of what it is. I mean, I'm sure they're actually on the side, it says, what it's used for and whatnot,
right.
Like probably do not hump thing, but it's not as obvious as the other ones that we have seen. So I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, that's the geometry car that they also so they ran literally the inspection train one direction, and they have the geometry car running the other way. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very interesting. Nice observation there on the on this northbound train. So, well, I wanted to take a few minutes here at the end and talk about the new issue of Steel Highway also. But, Sam, I know you've got a timestamp you want to get to, so let's do that.
Yes. 8:58 Grand Mound.
All right.
In the morning. Well, that's the only time it could be, but yeah.
Right. Okay. Grand Mound. And while I'm looking this up, I am going to do my shameless plug and just tell everybody that, yes, the latest issue of Steel Highway is available for pre-order. You can go to steel-highway.com and you can subscribe for the whole year, and you can order the latest issue if that's something that you'd like to see. I will be sharing the cover here and maybe one or two photos from the magazine. So what's our timestamp? I'm sorry, Sam.
8:58.
8:50.
Closer to 8:59, but that's about the timestamp there.
Well, we got to go another hour here. 8:48 and 8:58. So we have, looks like some UPGEs. Leading.
3 AC60s.
Yep.
Wow.
I've never seen that before, and they're all.
That is cool.
And it's a grain train too, so like,
right.
I'm a little upset, but of course this stuff happens when you're not out. But yeah.
Wow.
You
When
know,
was the last time that many AC60s got put on the same train? That's kind
No
of crazy.
clue. No clue. And they're all flags.
Yeah, I was
Not
gonna say
real
they're all
ones.
consistent in every way.
yeah.
It's like, really? Ugh. Well, I'm assuming it was a Clinton-bound grainer, I would imagine. So,
Well, it's all, well, at least a lot of it is the UP system hoppers here.
yeah. So watch for that coming back west. I have to keep an eye out for that.
Right.
It is
Seriously.
indeed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't. Break up the lash up, but you know. You never
Yeah,
know what
proviso. Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Well,
they
if it's
just
going to
service it
Clinton-
and send it
If
back.
it's going to Clinton, they do it at Clinton, or it could be going to Sterling. There's a number.
Yeah, I was gonna
of
say Sterling's always an
facilities.
option too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Jane's. Well, actually, no. Those typically have DPUs, don't they? And this one did.
Yeah, and they don't. I mean, they can come through here. Usually, it's just the eastbounds that come through here. And then
Interesting.
well, I guess they're southbounds. They go on the Alton or whatever.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, they kind of run. It's weird. There is technically a train that treats the Clinton sub directionally, isn't there? It's those grain trains. Yeah,
Yes.
I thought about that before.
Well, also the eastbound.
It's
Yeah,
saying,
no,
all right, Alan Hunt is saying this is an empty grain train for Evansville, Wisconsin.
Oh,
Oh.
it is in Evansville.
Hmm.
It is going to Evansville. I was right.
Yep. Yep. So
Sorry,
we won't see
Sam.
that again. Yep.
Sorry, Sam.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we won't see that again.
Okay. Well, I am going to pull up a couple of photos here from the latest issue of Steel Highway, and this is how we're going to close out the program. The first one is going to be the cover. And this is a Tyler Regan photo. And this is a Reading, Blue Mountain, and Northern fall colors train that they ran. This is actually the rear of the train, which is why you do not see the ditch lights on. But this is the power that would have led going back the other direction. So this is our cover photo, and just to give you a little bit of a sneak peek preview, we have an entire photo collage that we did in an article about the Iron Range and fall colors on the Iron Range. And to highlight that, because we were talking about this earlier, it's actually pretty appropriate. One of the photos that we have here is in fact a trio of standard cab Dash 8s in CN colors. Yes. This is so the cover photo was a Tyler Regan photo. This is a G. Mitchell photo. And the last one that I'm going to share here is going to be from Mr. Evan Weber, if he is still with us, because we included a photo of his from the Boone and Scenic Valley. And it is a photo of the JS steam engine that they have operating again now, with some nice fall foliage in the background as well. So, yeah, this is all just some examples of the photography from the latest issue of Steel Highway, which is available for pre-order on the Steel Highway website. And with that, I think we're going to sign off. Thank you, Noah, and thank you, Sam, for both pitching in and helping out here today. Always appreciate having you on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no problem.
And otherwise, make sure and check in next week. We will be live again next Wednesday. And, continue to support Steel Highway and check out this weekend, let me think here. We're going to have the CP Holiday train going north in the next couple of days, and we're going to have the Steam Railroad Institute running their Polar Express trains over the weekend again. So lots of fun stuff to check out in the next couple of days. And yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in, and have a fantastic rest of your week.
Yep. Goodbye, guys.
Bye. Bye.
All right, and we are off.